if you have any sort of humanity in you at all, then you would align this way because this, and this. And the other person on the other side of the issue is also moralistic about it. I feel that this is why this should be this way. And if you don't see it that way, you must not have any humanity in you. Welcome, everyone. This is the first episode, the first official installment of Hard Pills to Swallow with Matt Michaels and I. Thank you for listening, and yeah, this is going to be fun. We're shooting from the hip. We talked a little bit about some things that we know we wanted to talk about today. And we're just going to jump into it. So, Matt, how are we feeling? We're drinking something, and it's dark colored in a glass jar. What do we got today?
Yeah. We got some elderberry and mullein and nettle and bunch of mineral herbs, horsetail.
Is
Yeah.
is this like preventative? Are you feeling something coming on? Is this something you take regularly to kind of maintain, or what? Why are we drinking this?
So I do have a regular tea that I drink consistently all the time just for maintenance for digestion and liver and stuff. But no, Cal and I went to Boulder, Colorado, and while there we both got sick. I wrecked my car. It was a horrible trip. We got back and yeah, I've been very sick, just purging like crazy, which is awesome actually. Like I've been doing so much physical work on myself and I've been noticing such huge positive shifts. And then I've just been massively dumping right now, so I'm just feeling like I'm gonna feel so good on the other side of this. So
Nice.
I actually have a very good perspective of it, and I just feel like, man, I've done all this work to earn this purge, dude, and now I'm just gonna feel amazing. So
Yeah,
yeah, man.
like a stark difference in your perspective of having symptoms arise compared to the norm in society, which is, ooh, you have symptoms, you need to go and suppress those symptoms. You got to get rid of those. You can't be a productive member of a functioning democratic capitalistic society with the sniffles. You better
Yeah,
you better
yeah,
take something to make those sniffles go away rather than your perspective of, oh, this is good. My body needs to release some things. I'm going to support
yeah,
my body in releasing these things so that it can properly, cleanse itself, which is
yeah.
what it's designed to do.
Exactly. It's what herbs can I take to help my body purge more?
Hmm.
Like, yeah, let's assist this purge. Let's get as much out as possible. Yeah, yeah, for sure.
Yeah, I like it. For anybody
Yeah.
watching, this is clear. It's water. that's my maintenance is hydration. A little bit of lemon, some Baja Gold salt for some
Lemon and
minerals, and
salt, man. You can't beat that either, though,
it's so
really.
good. Yeah,
Hmm.
when it's spring and summertime, we've got cucumbers out here, so I'll put some of those in there to add a little something, but it's
Yeah.
it's cold. We're in smack dab in the middle of the world or the country, not the world. I'm in Northwest
Yeah.
Arkansas, Matt's in Tulsa, Oklahoma, and it is cold. We got our first real cold front of the year, and so there are no cucumbers in my garden at this point.
No, all my stuff got frozen out in the garden, and our furnace doesn't work. Bro, it's been a crazy couple weeks, actually. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
How are you staying warm?
Oh, we're not.
You
It's
look
cold
warm
as
right now.
it's cold as shit in here.
Is it?
Yeah,
Damn.
it's probably like 60 degrees in here right now. I do have a little space heater right here that I could turn on, but yeah, it's just a lot of things all at once. It's been good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, let's jump into it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think maybe I'm gonna start a little bit. Let's just go ahead and jump into the current event things. Well, we can talk about the other things work related maybe later, maybe even a different episode or something. But yeah, we were getting into it beforehand specifically, and I'm not a very political person. I feel like Matt, you're also not a political person, but also politics are present. It's a thing that it's an aspect of our experience here. And so you can't I don't think it's healthy to pretend it doesn't exist, and also I don't think it's healthy to invest a lot of your time and energy into it either. There's a delicate balance of, you know, accepting it and acknowledging it and, living within it and also not giving it too much of your energy.
Yeah, I think it's really just important to understand what it actually is and to understand that it is a show put on to sway public opinions one way or the other.
Right.
It's it's just like even if you think about the things that they argue in politics now, it's nothing that even changes. It's like, should men be able to play women's sports? You know what I mean? Like that's the arguments now. We're not
Yeah.
even talking about politics anymore. It's just
Sure.
all like a drama narrative. Yeah.
I agree. Yeah. Gun control,
Yeah.
immigration, all these
Yeah.
things, but it's very rarely are the conversations actually geared toward a solution. It's
Right.
normally loaded with a lot of blame from the other side. It
Yeah.
was not our fault. It was 4 years ago. It was that yahoo. They're, we're gonna clean up their mess by, imposing these really restrictive things and ultimately giving the government more and more power and control little by little, piece by piece, eroding the freedoms that we have in, under the guise, under the, the
Free,
excuse of, yeah, we're
free.
helping. This is for you. You don't, we should have mass surveillance. We should be able to read all of your messages and, oh, door cams, little ring doorbells. Yeah, we're going to use that footage without anybody's permission for whatever we want. We're just going to give it to law enforcement. And it's for you, though. It's really for your sake. It's not to slowly, like a boa constrictor, just tighten their hold just a little bit more until you can't move without the boa constrictor allowing you to move. It's not that. It's for your
Yeah.
safety.
Well, and I think that that's what's so interesting about this time that we're moving into because it seems like we're moving back into this like very similar to Nazi Germany. Like what's happening in the U.S. is the same exact thing that was happening then. You know, just the Zionists. Can I say that?
Yeah, I don't think Zionists, I mean, I don't know, who knows what we're gonna get flagged for. I can't imagine this episode doesn't get flagged for 100 reasons anyways, but, I mean, I
Well,
think that's the proper term, so I'd still
that's
use
what
it.
it is.
Yeah,
So yeah, those the Zionists take over, and um, the same thing with homosexuality and transgender and just demoralization of the public and all of that. And when that happens, you get the right wing hammer that comes in, and I see that happening right now with like Trump is like pushing this like fake Christianity thing, and like all the Christians love it, and but it's gonna be I think I can't remember the guy's name that was talking about where Nazi Germany went wrong was they didn't just get everybody to line up to get into the gas chambers themselves, basically.
right,
And that's what they've done with like the injections and such, you know, like they've
sure.
learned how to get us to actually walk into our own enslavement and into what they want. So it's like we have this Nazism coming in, but with technocracy tied to it. So it's this like religious Nazism technocracy thing that's coming. It's just so crazy to me.
It's an interesting time to be alive, especially in this country in particular. It is pretty, yeah, it's pretty wild times. And especially when you're, when you're in this functioning in the society, but you're also able to zoom out, you also have the ability to kind of, pull yourself out of the situation and observe the thing as a greater whole. It's even more difficult because you can see where things are headed and how things are slowly, incrementally moving in a certain direction. But when you're someone who's not able to do that for any number of reasons, you're just, maybe you're in fight or flight because you're living paycheck to paycheck. You're watching all the prices of everything go up. You've got kids. You got all these. You got a full plate. You don't really have the luxury, the privilege of like, oh, let me think about the macro for a little while. Let me think about where all this is headed. And so it's a really interesting dynamic of all of us at the same time. We're all experiencing the same thing very differently. I mean, we can get into that too. I mean, we talked about social media
So
feeds
true.
the other day. Like everyone is being presented with a different version of reality too, while they're all living a different version of reality because of their circumstances. And at this point, I haven't found, and I don't, if it does exist, it hasn't been presented to me. There isn't a neutral, like, information presenting entity where it's like, hey, look, this is what's going on, and there's no, biases here. We have no, dog in the fight. We're just letting you know what's up. Um, and so everyone is kind of forced to consume what they're being presented with, and more people are not. I mean, I don't know anyone who buys a newspaper. I don't know anyone that's getting their news from legacy media. Thankfully, I mean, I know of
I
people
know
who are,
people. Yeah, I was like, I
but
know people. Yeah.
they're typically a lot older, and
Yeah,
I don't know. They're
it's a different
indoctrinated into that
generation.
belief system of, yeah, I can trust this
But
news
you know,
station.
like I seen, man, like the same thing has just happened in the online world. Like you have the supposed outcasts from mainstream media, like Tucker Carlson or
Candace
what's
Owens.
the yeah. They are all like the new legacy media alternative, and they're also all. I think that they're all
They're
like age.
the Netflix and Hulu to cable television.
Yeah,
Just give
and
it a
they're
few more years, and then it's gonna cost the same amount of money, or in this case, they're going to be just as, owned and controlled as
I
far
think
as
they
a.
already are. Yeah, I think that they're already feds.
But
Like this.
with legacy media, it's obvious now that that's what it is. It's almost out in the open that they're controlled, whereas people
Yeah.
like Tucker Carlson and Candace
Right,
Owens,
right, right.
their
Yeah.
persona is that no, we're breaking free, man. I used to be a
Right.
part of that rat race, not anymore. It's totally independent, and I don't know. I don't know anything about either of them, right? Like this is where I had someone recently, and this will be funny for this episode. Someone accused me of being ideologically captured, and like why that's funny is I'm not that attached to anything. I don't know Tucker Carlson or Candace Owens personally, therefore I don't know anything that's going on. I don't know why they do what they do. I don't even know that they're real people because I haven't met them. They look like real people to me. Sure seems like they have a nice conversation, but Transformers looks pretty freaking real. And so, like, I don't know. I don't know for sure. But I have enjoyed some of the episodes that Tucker Carlson has had.
Yeah.
And that's what makes it difficult for me is it's like that conversation was good. That guest shared about some things that I'm like, okay, like I'm glad that person came on and talked
Mhm.
about those things. And so is he totally captured if he's bringing people on that are speaking some real truths? I don't
Mm,
know. I don't know how to balance that.
yeah, it's all about the partial truths. They don't mind some truth being out there. The general idea is just to flood so much information that no one knows what is left and what is right.
And they're
That's the
succeeding.
idea. Yeah,
They're
it's already
succeeding at that.
done. And
Yes.
that's what I'm saying is like you have the left, you have the right, but then you have like the conspiracy world was just created for people like us that
Hmm.
see that it's all bullshit, and then we all get drawn into that. So they don't care which funnel we're coming into as long as we're ingesting the information they have for us.
Hmm.
And that's what I'm realizing about all the conspiracy world and the truther community is like, as long as you're focused on the problem, they don't give a fuck. Like,
Right.
oh, you know the truth. Well, you're just as subdued by the narrative and the story. And you see where, like,
And well, and
now
even the truth that you think you know isn't even the full truth anyway.
no, none of it's true in
Right.
a
Right.
essence, and then
Right.
all of it's true.
Right.
Like, yeah, it's it really is just wild, dude. So I don't know. Now I just see that, like, oh man, the only thing that's true is what you're experiencing in your own personal reality. And other than that, it's just I just assume none of it is actually real. Like there's going to be consequences to things that are happening, but everything that's happening is happening for a different reason than you think it's happening, if it's even happening at all.
Right.
And now with AI, you really have no idea. Like when we look at the um what was his name? Charlie Kirk. Like, it's just so obvious to me that there's, again, actually, he's a perfect example of, again, them trying to usher in this, like, right wing Christian takeover. Like, because if you think about it, he was seen as the furthest right you can get almost, right? And he was really big with the youth, right? And they're always trying to get the youth. Okay, so you take him out, so then you get these right wing kids all in arms about it, then they're super passionate about it because they watch their hero just get shot in the neck or whatever. Yeah. Um, and then now, who do they put on Tucker Carlson but Nick Fuentes, which
Mm.
is the most right wing. He literally talks like Hitler did, but I mean, saying things that are like kind of true. I mean, it's not necessarily bad what he's saying,
See, I'm not
but he's just.
familiar with Nick Fuentes.
Are you not?
No.
Okay. So yeah, if you look at his talking points, he's just saying the same thing that Hitler was saying in early Nazi Germany.
Which is
Like
what, effectively?
Which is basically like Germans need to stick with Germans because it's going to make Germans stronger. And Africans should stick with Africans because it's going to make Africans stronger. Like, so it's not that they were racist at starting at all. It was about everyone becoming the best versions of themselves. And yeah, we should all be isolated with our own communities because we have our own cultures, and that's how we keep ourselves strong. And that's what we see in the West. You mix all the cultures together, you have no culture. We have
Sure.
anti-culture. We have death culture. We have the opposite of culture. And so that's exactly what Hitler did not want happening in Germany. So Nick Fuentes is basically doing the same talking points, like white people should be with white people, black people should be with black people. And it's not that we're enemies. It's just that we can all live in harmony in our own communities, and that just makes sense. That's what people have always done,
Mhm.
essentially.
Interesting.
And so he's always called a racist and, a bigot and I don't know, a sexist and all this stuff, but he just believes in like Christian values and things like along those nature. So he's very, very Catholic. He's very much a part of this system, but he's been put on the stage as like being shut off, and he's always gotten his channel shut down and things like that, but he's just always right there. And he's like the Charlie Kirk replacement, I think.
Hmm. Interesting. Okay, so he was on Tucker Carlson. Okay.
Yeah, yeah, he was just on Tucker Carlson, and I was saying whenever Charlie Kirk died, and I started to learn who Nick Fuentes was, I was like, I bet you he's the up and coming big guy, because it's been a huge dramatic narrative and upbringing for him that started when he was very young, and so he just seems to be the guy to
Hmm.
push it further right wing.
Interesting. Yeah, I mean, there's no shortage of sacrificial lambs, you know, that they can shoal out to spread whatever message needs to be spread, and then
Do you think he was even killed? Like, because I just think his character ran out. Like, he's already a 35-year-old man, right? Like, how
yeah.
long can you go argue at colleges? Like, his character's no longer needed. And then
Hmm.
you sacrifice him and get these right wingers all up in arms and into Nick Fuentes to take
Hmm.
her right because it's deeper separation, further to the right, further to the left. Then you have like New York going straight socialism now, like Muslim mayor, right? So it's how far can we stretch the division? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Well, I
Yeah.
mean, I didn't think it could be stretched further, honestly. Like it was
They're doing it, bro.
we've
They're
been
doing.
pretty divided as a
Yeah.
nation, as a country.
Are you
Uh,
familiar with Albert Pike?
mm-mm.
So he wrote three letters, and it was about how they would usher in the New World Order, essentially, and it was through three world wars.
Mhm.
And the Third World War that he wrote about would be that it would be the rising up of Christianity versus Islam to destroy each other and destroy the world, essentially.
Hmm.
And that's basically what we see happening in the United States. You have this right wing Christian stuff really building up, and then you got this left wing, like almost Muslim stuff. Like, are we going to be a half Muslim country? Like, is that what's happening? That's crazy, bro. So, anyways, like you've seen, there's Muslim whole cities now
No, I've
in the
not
U.S.
seen that. I don't spend a whole lot of time consuming.
These are just things I've known throughout like
Oh, yeah,
years.
I don't know. I try not to like I said, with as far as energy and putting it into these things. I've been for the last several years trying really hard to like I'll take in a little bit, whatever's important, whatever I need to know, it'll find its way to me through somebody or through some sort of avenue. But I try really hard to just focus on my immediate experience and who I can affect and
Mhm.
impact in real time, not so worried or consumed about the future or the past, but just what can I do right now? This person needs help loading their groceries into their car. Do I take 2 seconds and help them, or do I not? Somebody cuts me off. Do I let my emotions get the better of me, or do I not?
Mhm.
And yeah, I'm homeschooling my kid this year, and so like I just most of my time is very here now, super present, very grounded. That's kind of been my, you know, modus operandi, I think that's called. Anyway, my MO for a minute is just to be as here as I can be. And so yeah, I miss a lot of the goings and happenings. So yeah,
Yeah.
maybe this is how I'll get my news from you.
I'm a good way to get the news, bro. Yeah.
Yeah. um but anyway, yeah, so politics, this perception of outlaw news reporters who were once a part of the system and now they're not, they're independent now, but they
Yeah.
also have
With
like
4,000,000 views.
yeah, I mean, they're definitely being pushed by algorithms and
Yeah.
favored over other videos, and they're heavily sponsored, and I doubt that any of them are fully, removed and insulated from whatever influences would have been there when they were with legacy media. Um, but yeah, and then we were talking about, huh?
I said, "Yeah, they're just playing their roles."
Right? Yeah, I mean, aren't we all? Uh,
Yeah. Do that.
But yeah, then we were talking a little bit earlier about Trump and the
Mm.
the right wing. You're talking about the right wing hammer and like a lot of these. I don't know, what do you call them? Not necessarily laws, like executive orders, I guess. Like, and
Do that.
I'm not an expert on the judicial system or the legislative. I don't know or exactly. I don't know anything about the three branches of government. I know some, but not enough to be you know, someone that you should be listening to as far as how stuff works. However, I have been reading and listening to some things from others that hopefully and seem to know more than I do about these things, and they explain it in a way that's really digestible. But yeah, I saw something recently, and I don't know if you saw it, but I posted it on my story about essentially one of the executive orders recently that was issued around like or mental health and cleaning up the streets, getting rid of the homeless, and like some of the language that they use. And again, I'm a communication guy. I'm gonna read every single word and understand what it's really saying instead of what they're wanting you to think it says.
Mhm.
And
Can I
like
say something before? I
yeah,
I just heard a video recently where it's talking about, um, the strongest language of black magic and witchcraft is the law language. The language of law is,
uh
like, the strongest. Yeah. Have you heard that before?
yeah, and it makes sense. Well, I mean, it's coveted. They don't regular people don't even know how to speak the language.
No, and it's so
It's
deceptive and manipulative
yeah,
and
you've
just
got to
oh
go
my
to
goodness. Such man.
some
Ugh.
university with a very rich history of secret organizations and some really dark things. That's where you have to go and spend money and get accepted into their fraternity, their brotherhood, if you will, of this you know language that only the privileged get to understand, and those who don't are going to be taken advantage of and used and hurt by not knowing it. But it makes sense. I mean, that's yeah, it makes a lot of sense in that regard. So, but anyway, so this order was basically saying like anyone who displays like mental illness can be picked up off the street and sent to your phone's blowing up. You got no do not disturb, Matt. I know you don't have that iPhone life, but
I got
I'm sure Android's got to have a do not disturb function. Oh my lord. For all the listeners out there, this is a special edition.
it's just that I'm really popular sometimes. I'm so
Yeah,
sorry.
Matt's blowing up on the podcast.
Alright.
Um,
Okay.
this is the first installment. We'll get better. We'll clean up our things by episode 2. Anyway, the executive order is basically just very loose language of anyone with a mental illness or anyone who, exhibits signs of drug use or whatever can just be picked up off the street by, some sort of agency of the United States government, and then forcibly entered into some, some sort of a facility. And if there's not room at a facility, they'll take you somewhere else. Where is that? I don't know. They don't say. And
Well,
there's also no language in there about how long, like there's no due process. All
yeah.
of that kind of stuff is missing from the order.
I love that you brought that up because that's one of the things that I was wanting to talk about too, how basically they've made homelessness illegal.
Mhm.
And so yeah, where are they about to put all of them? Well, they're building a giant facility in Utah, which is interesting because that's where that ritual went down with Charlie Kirk too, which is
Mm.
very interesting. But yeah, they're putting up this big facility to house the homeless, but they're work camps. Like that's what
Right.
I'm saying, bro. It is Nazi Germany on fucking steroids with the level of technology and the level of propaganda that they've mastered with social media and stuff like that. It's
And it's
and we're all
legal.
just like walking into it.
Yeah, and the government made it legal for itself to propagandize US citizens.
Yeah.
It's not
Yeah.
against the law for them to
So
force you to consume propaganda.
no, no, they don't even have to force us. We volunteer. Please feed
Well,
us propaganda.
I mean, what I mean by force you is like, even if you aren't trying to pay attention to it, if it's in your feed over and over and over again, like you don't really have a choice except to
Yeah,
abstain
totally.
from any information on that platform, which is going to be
Yeah.
very difficult for most people. But like
Yeah.
if every ad or every boosted post or whatever, every suggested anything in your feed is pushing a certain narrative, which is propaganda, like they are to a degree forcing you to consume it because you can't. I mean, like you just did a reel recently about Callan sleeping on the couch and the TV on in the background, like you're consuming it even if you don't think you're consuming it. You can
Yeah,
watch a
totally.
commercial and be like, "Oh, that commercial's stupid," but you still just consumed it. You watched it,
Yeah.
you
Yeah.
understood it. There's messaging in it. There's lots of different things that you are consuming even if you think that you're just dismissing it and moving on with your day. You've still consumed it.
Yeah. Yeah. And it's become a part of you. It's become part of your subconscious programming.
And the way that you view the world and see what's
Yeah.
happening or believe what's
Yeah.
happening.
Yep.
It all comes together to make one big experience.
So So yeah, man. I mean, it seems like this thing that's happening right now is like taking away the EBT, taking away Section 8. So all these people are going to be homeless. It's illegal to be homeless. Then you're just ending up in the camps. We have the middle class crashing, so more and more people are going to end up homeless and just be moved into the camps. So you know what it's just like I'm like, whoa, dude, like that's happening fast, bro. Like
It is.
that's
Yeah, more and more they made it. It's funny, just not that long ago, a year or two ago, like I feel like my feed was exploding, maybe even like maybe COVID time, so maybe 5 years ago. But like so many people going from, yeah, I have a house or I'm renting or whatever to I'm gonna live in a van or a
mm,
bus or something, some sort of a mobile little tiny itty bitty thing. And you're going to cram everything, tiny home, you're going to cram everything you know into these small, compact spaces to save money. Like that's unprecedented, right? But it was labeled, it was marketed or propagandized as like, yeah, be independent. You could go anywhere. You have freedom and you're not
mm,
tied to one house or whatever, but you also don't own land. You
you
have
don't
to
know
park
anything.
your little bus on someone else's property somewhere,
Mhm.
and
Point.
like that's not really secure. There's no
Yeah.
security in that. You're going to be a nomad for the rest of your days if you don't own land. Not saying that everybody needs to go own land, but like it's wild. You're talking about the middle class crashing, which it absolutely is. Money, the US dollar is worth nothing compared to what it once was. Like I have friends that are looking to buy houses, and Sarah and I are looking at, of course we'd love land. I would love a big plot of land to do a bunch of things on. It's not realistic unless you're some sort of corporation that's going to buy the land and flip it and put 50 townhouses on it and then try to profit off of it. Like it's not realistic to be buying land at the rate that it's being sold right now. It's crazy.
Yeah. No, we're being priced out of everything, and they're just buying everything up on pennies on the dollar.
Yeah, and the fact that corporations are allowed to, buy single family homes and then rent them and
Which, bro, I mean, and dude, these new homes that they're building are like literally made of paper. Like they're
yeah.
made to fall apart. They look really nice. Looking at like these beautiful mansions, but really they're made of paper, bro. Like
Mhm.
they're made to fall apart. And it's like you don't want to buy anything built new at
Yeah,
all. And
unless you build it like unless you hire a builder and you're like, "Hey, this is what I
right,
want you to
right,
build
yeah,
and to your
exactly.
specs." But yeah, yeah, I agree.
Yeah, I mean, they're almost like the Amazon of houses now, and I just think of, like, the
Temu.
furniture you get from Amazon, right? It's, like,
Yeah,
fucking worse than IKEA. It's just, like, everything is disposable, like, you could tell it's just all coming to an end. Everything
yeah.
is being made to just fall apart, you know?
Yeah, everybody it's like we're at the end of the toothpaste, and they're just like, "Alright, how much can
Yeah,
we squeeze? Can we squeeze a
yeah,
little bit more? Because
bro. Bro, that's it, and then they're squeezing all of us now, dude, and we're gonna squeeze us into concentration camps, I guess? I don't know.
I don't know. We've got a very docile, public, general public. It's very, very docile in our country at this point. I mean, people are just they're watching crazy things happen, and unless the news is telling them to be outraged and go and protest and burn down cities, unless they're being told to do it, it doesn't seem to be happening. Oh, this is something I wrote down. It's like another thing about this consumption, about propaganda, and about these, you know basically us getting darn near everything that we know about what's happening from some sort of a digital source, whether it's social media, whether it's from an online publication, like that's kind of where everybody's getting it. The majority of people, they're getting it from the internet. And as you and I both know, the internet, you could find anything and everything on the internet. You could find that, chewing gum has positive benefits, and you could find that it has terrible benefits. You can find everything, both sides of everything. It's a crazy whirlwind of a muddy water environment. It's hard to discern anything. And that's where everybody's getting they're not everybody, the majority of people are getting their information. And so what's scary about that, when you think about language and communication and perception and our individual experience, like if you're told over and over that the walls are closing in, the government's stripping away your rights, eventually you're going to believe that that's happening because you keep hearing that it is, which means you're going to accept it as what is happening. And then they'll give you a new thing that's crazy, and so you're not really thinking about that anymore. It's like Epstein is a great example. That's something that, like, I don't think there's very many people who would agree with how it's being handled. I think the majority of Americans want to know the truth about what happened. I think the majority do. But constantly you're being bombarded with a new crisis, a new crazy thing that's happening, and that needs to take precedence. That needs to be prioritized over this other thing. And you keep doing that long enough and you just let that thing go because you can only
Yeah.
hold on to something for so long. And so the same thing with this, like the walls are closing in, you're losing your rights, and the world is crazy. We're all so divided. Like we're almost manifesting it as individual citizens because we believe that it's happening. So we're going to act accordingly. We're going to act according to what we believe is happening and thereby create the reality that they're telling us is happening, even though we don't want it. And then when it happens and we're all in these like confined spaces being controlled by who knows, we're going to be like, yeah, well, we knew this was coming. We all saw this coming and no one did anything because we're all looking for someone else to do something about it.
Well, and because because we're all so divided, we can't get enough people to be on the same page of what we're supposed to do about it. Like,
Right.
it's all just, yeah, we've all been circumvented into all of these little isolation
Boxes.
chambers already, you know?
Yeah.
It,
Yeah.
we
And
just
and
can't get
especially
along.
especially when every topic, every like
Everything.
human issue is you're either here or you're here. And if
Mhm.
I'm here and you're not here, we have a fucking problem.
Mhm.
Like it didn't used to be that way, and that's why this country and the people in it were able to do a lot of the things they were able to do is because they worked together to do it. Other countries as well, of course. Um But, like, yeah, the division is nuts because everything is division now. Like, "Oh, you like to eat meat?" Like, who gives a shit, right?
Mhm.
Or you don't like to eat meat. Wonderful. Go eat whatever you want at your house. Why does that have to mean that we are now divided? We are not
Yeah.
able to be cohesive community neighbors. We can't do that now because you have a different preference of what you put in your body. Now you're in a different group than me.
Well, dude, it's crazy actually. So I had a friend that just made a post on Facebook that I know from back in my like druggy days, and one of the old druggy friends had messaged him. He was like, I guess because he's conservative, he was like, "If I catch you outside, because I didn't know that you were racist," all this just because it's like, so just because he's conservative, he's racist. And so all of a sudden we have like all these stacks of terms about and assumptions about people based off of these ideologies. It's just, it's such nonsense, dude, the level
Yeah.
of programming with that.
Yeah.
Like, you
I
know
agree.
this person, you know he's not racist. So why are you just like combining those two things together? It's just weird.
Well, it's because the media is training his mind, programming him to associate one with the other. And I mean, we're eating it up. Not, I mean, I'm not because I don't, but like
No, but
the
there are people who are,
there are
that's
a
for
lot
sure.
of people who are taking it and running with it, and it's just it's such a nuanced. It's deep. It goes real deep because a lot for a lot of people it's moralistic. For a lot of people, it's well, if you have any sort of humanity in you at all, then you would align this way because this, and this. And the other person on the other side of the issue is also moralistic about it. I feel that this is why this should be this way. And if you don't see it that way, you must not have any humanity in you. And so now we're just like, no one has any humanity
Mm,
because we have different opinions on things. And again, like you said, it's all based on assumptions, on projections, on us, yeah, stories that are made up in our mind about other people who we don't really know.
yeah.
And dude, that's not the plug, not a shameless plug of my new fucking segment, but that's the new podcast. Like that's the whole point of it. It's called Know Your Neighbor. And so I'm going to interview everybody. Oh, you're a Sikh? Great. Let's talk about it. Oh, you're a dairy farmer? Let's talk about it. Like cuz I have I'm not so insulated and protected from the world and the programming that I don't also have some ideas or, perceptions of what certain groups of people might be like, but I don't want to like act on that. I don't want to like move through the world just thinking, "Oh, these people, yeah, I know that they're like this." Like, let's get to know the people. Let's like
Yeah.
legitimately have a conversation with them and get down to it. Let's find the humanity in each one of these groups of people rather than, "Oh, this dude's friggin', Jewish. Okay, well, I know this much about him, or this person's Christian. Well, I know this about him, or whatever." Like, or like, you're a Mennonite, you wear the long skirts and the little things. So I know about you. It's like I
Mhm.
actually don't. I really
Yeah.
don't know about you, and
Mm.
you're probably not that different than me. You have maybe some preferences. I know for a fact Mennonites the way they dress like that for modesty. They think it's important to be modest in how they present themselves. Um, but that's it. I don't know anything else about them. I think besides that, I don't think I'm that modest in how I dress. I'm normally showing some skin, if you know what I mean.
Please.
At least from elbows down. Um, but I think when you get past those differences, there's a lot more similarities that we have than we have that are not in common. Um, but that's just not what is being talked about. It's not nearly as provocative and engaging for the algorithms, and the people are flocked to the drama. And unfortunately, it's kind of fueling our trajectory to worse situations than we're in now as a people.
Yeah, and I think that is what's interesting is like, and that's what I mean by like everything in the political field is also just entertainment, just like everything, all the movies and all the television. and all the music, it's all like synchronized together to create this worldview and perspective from a lot of different perspectives at the same time. It's very interesting.
Mhm.
But yeah, we're all being projected into a similar way. And that's what I was talking about with conspiracy theorists too. Like they don't care if you know the truth as long as you're focused on the narrative that they're trying to create.
Mhm.
Like,
Mhm.
cool, you want to give them all the power to say that they're in control of everything and they're creating this. They love that. Yeah,
Sure.
keep having that
Yeah,
perspective.
manifest that. You're
Yeah,
gonna,
yeah,
yeah.
please. Like, I'm like, damn, dude, I've been just as programmed as everybody else. I thought I was like doing better, but fuck, they got me too. And that's how you know that you're growing. That's
Right,
how
I
you
think and that's the way out. I think the way out is be in real time with real people in your real community and do real things, make real impacts. That's
yeah.
all you I think that's it. I don't think there's anything else to be
Yeah,
done.
and resist. Like that's what I've come to is like our thing, ultimately our purpose here at this time is to resist as much as possible and just don't become the machine.
Yeah,
Don't become the
non-participation.
machine.
Don't participate in the protests, don't participate in the votes. Like you're just creating, you're putting
Yeah,
your energy into this thing that you
yeah,
don't really want and you don't
yeah.
believe in. Stop doing that.
People do want and believe in it, and that's what's so frustrating, man. Like, oof.
But I don't think they really want like I think that I
People
guess
want it because it feels safe to them. Like they want government to take care of them. Think of how many people like actually want they are
dude,
so
if
happy
we
about
had
what's
a
going on
if we had a
with New York.
government that we could trust, I would love that too.
Yeah, but
Dude,
like that the government that I can trust
right,
is
but
an
I'm just saying
oxymoron.
if you
Cannot
had someone,
have
let's
it.
say, let's zoom back, I don't know, and this person would never do it, but let's zoom back, say 40 years from now, 30 years ago, someone like Ram Dass, for instance. I would vote for that person to be in charge of how things happened. I would because I believe that that person would have done their best to care for others and like be willing to hear opposition and like someone like that I would be okay with giving some of my control of how things are happening. Like I would be okay with that. I don't want I don't think it's I don't know that it's realistic for there to be no government at all. I think that there's so many complex things happening around the world, so many different ideologies, so many. I mean, just look at before, the 1900s. You look back at like the zoom out of the timeline. How many wars, how many peoples were slaughtered so that the land could be conquered and taken? Like you do have to have some sort of like like not hospitality, but like diplomacy. Like you've got to be able to interact with people of different cultures, and
Mhm.
Jane, Billy, Jane, Joe, or you know what I mean, whoever the hell in Podunk, Kentucky, that person's not really in a place to be dealing with somebody from France or from Bangladesh or whatever who has you know what I mean? Like, so I do think there is a benefit to having a government or I mean, yes, a government, a group that is tasked with governing the international policies. I think that's important and also protection of our country. But we've gone so far beyond protection at this point that we're attacking other countries. I don't think that should be something that we do. I don't think that should be even on the table of like, hey, we're going to kill your people if we don't agree about what you're doing over there. Like, we're just going to protect ourselves from those who want to harm us. I think that would be a great function of a government, that and keeping peace. Like, finding people who are good at negotiating and finding compromises and creative solutions to problems, trade. I mean, how are we going to get all of our shit that we buy from other countries if we don't have any sort of governing agency? How do we make sure that it's safe for our people, that what they're sending over, like, there is some benefit to governing agencies, but a thousandth, 1,000th of the responsibility and control that our government has now.
Yeah, I mean, I kind of think of like a governing force as you would see with like a tribe. More of that type of energy. It's difficult to talk about what would be the better option under the context of what we currently live in because we
Right.
live in this like weird thing, dude. Like none of what we live in is reality. You know what I mean? Like it's this has all been constructed. So I don't even think we can even fathom what we could actually do with running a community of people if we were all raised that way. You know what
Mm.
I mean?
Well, I mean, yeah, but what we know now, like you said, and I agree, is coming to an end.
Yes.
I'm not sure what it's gonna look like on the other side. I don't
I
think
think it's
that's
gonna look like small communities.
yeah, I don't
Those
think it's determined yet. I don't think it's determined what the other side's gonna look
well,
like because
and that's
either, either the people, the individual people win and they break free from, the overlords, the shackles, the tyranny that is being imposed, or they don't.
well, there's probably gonna be both. Those that plug in to the internet for forever, and then those that get back to nature and get like ousted from this current
But you
reality.
think that those people are gonna be allowed to do that? People aren't that's homeless, bro. That is what would be considered a homeless person right
Yeah,
now.
it's so true. And I don't know, bro. Like I sometimes I think like if I'm in a more ungrounded spiritual perspective, yeah, there's like two different timelines. So it's like which frequency are you in during this like split? But on a more grounded level, yeah, I just think that there's gonna be this natural like splitting away. And I don't know what that's gonna look like, but yeah, I'm sure it's gonna be painful for those that split away. It's not gonna be pleasant.
I mean, the people that are gonna
And
wanna
there's
live
gonna be
off
concentration camps for that.
yeah,
Yeah.
live off the land and be self-sufficient, like, if that's one sect, the other sect is the like you said, the techocracy? Is that what you said?
Technocracy.
Technocracy. Like the super focus on tech and drones and robots and fucking all of this AI,
We'll
all of this
do this,
stuff,
we'll do
like,
that.
and that all aligns with the direction that I don't know what to call them besides overlords. The people who are pulling the strings, the people who are making big time decisions on the direction that the world goes, like whoever those people are, they, them, whatever, those people that are in those positions want the tech. They want that progression because
Yes.
ultimately it leads to more control. And with more control, you have more power. And with power, that's ultimately what they're striving for is
As transhumanism, they wanna
well, that's an
become
aspect of it. That's an
yeah,
aspect. That's another aspect of
for
control and power,
them.
though. Right.
Yeah, exactly, because they can dominate and live forever over
Right,
the
and so the
planet.
likelihood that that sect allows the free-thinking hippies to live off the land in harmony next to the creek that you know what I mean? Plus all the waterways are gonna be poisoned
Okay.
and destroyed by these data centers and
This is
everything anyway.
true, but there's all this stuff too about, like, part of the reason why all this is happening is because there's gonna be shifts where, like, our DNA begins to be activated and so that we begin to evolve, and that's part of what they don't want, and
Mm,
as we evolve so it's like again, it's like knowing that, all right, we see a different picture than everybody else, but we ultimately don't know either. And there's so many things that could be happening. And why are they waging war so heavily onto the human population right now? It's more than them just wanting to destroy us for no reason. Like they know something we don't know, which is
sure.
true about
I think
everything.
they know several things we don't know.
So, and I always think for myself, like I grew up knowing that I was going to see the end of the world as we knew it. I've known that since I was a kid, and I have like I I don't know. I've just always known that I was going to see this. I don't
Mm,
know. It's super weird. And so like we chose to be here for this time and
no, I
purpose. We
agree.
serve a role during it, and like that's why we're here, but
And I think that's why it's important that we not buy too much into any of it because we're here, we chose to be here. Some part of us, our higher self, made the decision to come into this experience at this time, to be where we are at this moment. And so knowing that, if you really can believe that, then you also have to believe that all the other things that are coming, you also knew was going to happen
Yeah.
and were prepared for, and this is all part of it. And so there's no
And maybe there's
mistake.
something beautiful that happens.
Right.
We have only been fed the dark side,
Right.
and there's a whole 'nother light side that we don't know about. And who
Yeah.
knows what's coming from within us, you know?
Right.
And so that's the little bit of hope I continue to take with me through. And it's even like we've talked about, like we're building a business while the economy is collapsing. It's just like, what the fuck? Like, why am I doing this? You know?
Well, that
But
answer's
it's just
easy
like
for
you
me.
have
I
to
mean,
have the faith and continue to move forward despite your circumstances.
but
And
I think it's bigger than that. Why are we each building our separate but similar in many ways businesses? Is it's needed.
yeah,
Like, that's
for sure.
why. What you do, the services that you offer to people, people need it. You change people's lives for the better if people are willing to do the work and actually change their life. Because it's almost it's misleading to say that you change people's lives, because you don't actually change people's lives.
No,
You
no.
give people the tools and the opportunities for them to change their own lives, which is the only way that it's going to happen. And I do the same thing. And so that's why we're doing what we're doing, is because it is greatly needed. And this is our path. This is what we're here to do, is give people the opportunities to create the changes that they want, because we need more people who are able to speak their truth, who are healthy enough to do so, to move their body and not, be consuming, pills on top of pills on top of pills and injections and more pills. Like, that's not serving those people to be in that situation. And the majority of the time, those people are taking pills for something that they created for themselves environmentally. It's not genetic. Like, they want everyone to believe that they're it's all like, dude, my mom my mom sent me a text about that. She's like, I have this osteoarthritis, I'm dealing with this stuff, and it's hereditary, you're gonna have it too. And I'm like, okay, whatever you say. Like, I don't believe that I'm destined to have any of these ailments. I'm gonna treat my body well, and I'm gonna detox as much as I can. And like, I don't think I'm going to suffer from those things. Maybe I will, but I don't know. I don't buy into the idea that, well, sorry, bud, you got bad genes, and so you're destined and doomed to, look and feel a certain way. Your body's going to fall apart. So you may as well just go ahead and eat McDonald's and go ahead and eat packaged foods at the grocery store, and because, it's hereditary. Meanwhile, you're consuming all the things that are giving you the thing that you're going to be suffering from.
Yeah.
Uh, it's like a big mind fuck. But anyway,
Yep.
coming
Yep.
back to it, that's why we're doing what we're doing. It's because it's needed, and the people who are looking for it will find it. And that's all we can do.
For sure. For sure. One other thing I wanted to bring up as we've been talking about this string of events, if we circle back, have you been paying attention at all to the three eye atlas thing?
Just recently, I just saw something recently. I had seen some image, which it doesn't, it looks fake. It looks like an image that
That's
if I
because
asked AI to make me a asteroid slash spaceship that's kind of ambiguous, I feel like that's what it would have made up. It does not look genuine. And I've been watching over only, like, seriously, in the last week is the first time I really heard it. I had heard somebody say something about the astronomer, that's super, trustworthy source, who brought it forward. I heard about that a while ago, but I didn't really pay it any thought or any mind, because I'm like, obviously this is nonsense. Um, but I saw something come through my feed about it. They're like, "Oh yeah, it's getting closer, and we've got more detailed images, and it's changing colors, and it's speeding up without explanation, and all these things." So I looked into it, and I mean, from what I've read about it, it's this object that is keeping it's a straight trajectory. It's not turning and, whatever. It's speeding up, slowing down, but it's going in one direction. But it's not moving in a normal, it's not orbiting anything. It's just shooting through our solar system for whatever reason. But like that, it's already past, when we're like the closest that it was going to be to Earth, it's already past that at this point. And so now it's like it's going to be close to the sun in sometime in December. It's going to be like the closest point to our sun, and the only way that we're going to be able to see it are through NASA's satellites that are orbiting other planets' moons And so you don't really get to see it, but these things that are orbiting space are going to take pictures for you, and they'll be distributed to you by the same sources that are sending you propaganda and biased media. That's what I know about it. What do you know about it?
Okay. Well, I mean, honestly, I always just assume that it's fake. But what comes up for me is like this fake alien invasion thing, and just the likelihood that because they want us to think that, talking about like as we watch it, we manifest that reality. How many movies have we watched about alien invasions?
For sure, a bunch.
That's been force fed to us since really the 50s with Roswell.
Yes, I mean, since
It's just been,
movies were a thing, I mean, it was one of the earlier subject matters.
yeah.
Even
And
before that, dude, it was on radio. Like, back when they didn't
yeah,
have TV, during radio
yeah,
programs, there were
yeah.
yeah,
The War of the Worlds. Yeah. And
yeah,
then, like Aleister Crowley, he was like summoning that entity that looked just like a gray alien,
mm,
Lam or whatever. Um, it's like, well, that's pretty interesting. And that would be before the time of gray aliens, right? In like the 50s. He was before the 50s, right?
yeah, definitely 1800s.
1800s. Oh, Aleister Crowley was
Crowley
1800s.
was, like, late 1800s, early 1900s.
Okay. Yeah. So,
Yeah,
and he seems to have a lot to do with like the alien stuff
hmm. I'm gonna look that up just to make sure I'm not talking out of my ass.
on his years.
Yeah, I do wanna make sure I know what I'm talking about here. Yeah, he was born in 1875, died in '47.
Okay. 1947.
That's when he died.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah. Okay.
Interesting timing there too.
Yeah, that is interesting.
Yeah.
So,
So anyway,
so
Atlas.
yeah, I just feel like it's just programming us for that time to accept this like coming. I don't know. Are we gonna see other entities come forward? Like, and then
Have you heard about or read about any of the stuff happening in the ocean?
oh my gosh, dude, who knows what's in the ocean, dude? Like,
It's crazy
that's
that
the
we
thing.
don't know what's in the ocean.
Yeah.
It's crazy to me that as a species, as a human race, we would be more concerned about what's on other planetary objects than on our own.
Well, dude, I think it's the same thing.
How?
Because it's the waters above and the waters below. Like above us is more water. Like that's just the spiritual dimension. There's no space. There's no like flying through space. Like I don't think that any of that should exist like that. I don't think the sun exists like that. It's water out there too. It's almost like ether. Ether is like a thinner water almost, but it's all just water.
Right.
So it's
Well,
just
there's
the water.
water in our air. I mean, we're breathing in water,
That's
a little bit of water all the time.
that's yeah. It's
Yeah,
all just
I
water.
agree. Yeah, that's it's the
And
water is more dense and more concentrated the deeper you go into our
yeah, yeah,
planet,
yeah.
and it does dissipate. There's this weird like level of, air to denser water, and that's where we happen to live is on that little strip right there. But then the further you go up, there's still water. There's always water everywhere.
Yeah,
I
dude, and
agree.
and and now we know that water has memory, water is conscious. Like, water could be fucking God. I don't know,
Well,
dude.
and we're
Like it's
water. I mean, we're composed
and
mostly of
we're made in
water.
God's image of water. Like water could very well be God. You can program your. We literally have a list of things that we want programmed into our water that we hold every day. You know what I mean? Like it goes into the water.
Yeah,
And that's been scientifically
right.
proven, which is really wild. Um, so yeah. I don't know, it's pretty interesting, the water stuff. So, anyways, but I think that there's probably just interdimensional entities that are already amongst us, but are going to unleash themselves as coming from this thing and Project Blue Beam, all that kind of stuff. And so it's going to be this great facade. And then it's like, well, again, like, just think about all the random stuff that could happen within our lifetime, dude, with like some civil war later on between the Christians and the Muslims, and then the alien invasion, and then you just like I don't know what else do we have going on. It's just crazy. The collapse of the complete financial system.
Right, yeah, yeah, money's not gonna be a thing, at least not as we knew it. You've also got climate,
Oh, yeah,
thing.
climate change,
Yeah,
yeah.
I mean, dude, storms and shit are getting crazy. Like the weather is getting really weird. And you got all the stuff they're not spraying in the atmosphere. These perfectly straight lines that are just every plane that flies at a certain altitude, it just does that. Don't look at all the interviews of people who have like actually investigated it and have found that there are planes legitimately spraying things off of the
Well,
back of
dude,
their thing, or the fact that they're measuring how much aluminum is in Thomas, Thomas.
yeah, yeah.
So he and I were talking recently because he came over. This is more community building. But he came over to help me with a little project at the house, and he was talking about something that he had watched where a man measured the amount of aluminum in his sweat when there were chemtrails and when there weren't, and it was astronomically different.
Wow.
But there was
That
still aluminum in his sweat, no matter what, all the
uh,
time, and
yeah.
that's not normal.
No, it's
Yeah.
not.
So it's I don't know, it's wild. But anyway, so you have that too. I mean, you've also got food. Like the soil is diminished to I mean a fraction of what it used to be as far as nutrients and the ability to sustain growing vegetables, growing crops. On top of that, the stuff they're spraying on top of it. So our food's being poisoned, the air's being poisoned, the water's being poisoned, like our bodies are being poisoned by, you know, your clothing that you're wearing. I mean, there's
Mm,
so many ways that human beings are being attacked and bombarded from all places. And so, dude, who I have no, I can't even fathom what the future is going to look like. I would have never guessed that it would have looked like this, when I was younger, zoom back
I
15,
didn't
20
think
years
it
ago.
would look like this.
You did?
Oh, yeah, yeah. Dude, I told you my entire life, dude, I knew that I was gonna watch this see this shit, dude.
Well, but you knew
That's
the world was
so
going to end. That's pretty vague. You knew that there was going to be like tech companies building robots trying to put things into your brain so that they can
I
control it.
guess, like, dude, that's what they've been telling us in the
You knew the
movies our
Tesla
whole
truck
life.
was coming. You had a feeling.
I knew from a broad
Okay,
perspective.
okay, okay.
No details, no
All right, good.
details.
Yeah, I mean,
But then
I'm with you there.
it's interesting because we all knew because we've all been force-fed the same movies our entire lives. Like, we
Well,
grew
yeah, I
up on, like,
mean,
Terminator and shit, right? Like,
yeah,
they've been
we've been
tell The
told the world was
Matrix,
going to end for a while. So, yeah,
our entire
maybe you're not
life.
that special. Maybe
I'm not.
maybe you're not an oracle.
Maybe
Maybe
I was just programmed with what they were programming me with.
yeah, you're still not free, dude. You still haven't broken free of it.
Yeah, I'm still like, fuck. But then, and really, that's also true, and I also am aware of that,
Right, yeah.
unfortunately.
No, same. I mean,
How
it's
would I
a
survive without the system at this point? I wouldn't, and that's a fucking thing that I hate to say, but it's true.
dude, it's without community, like the system replaced community.
Yeah.
We 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 rely
It
on
consolidated it,
grocery
and then it
stores
took
and
it away.
Amazon and these third party, people that are moving this to here to this to here so you can have everything in this one convenient place. Like that replaced what used to exist, which is like communities coming together, farmers markets essentially, but imagine it all the time, everywhere. Like the whole town is a big farmers market, and everyone's bringing to that farmers market their goods and services and meeting and helping and collaborating and that's we've lost that ever
Yeah,
since we've gone to this, the newer system that we're all, living in. But so we'd have to go back to that essentially. That's where we'd have to go back to is, all
that's
right,
what
well,
we
who lives in
need to
this
go back to.
neighborhood that can help me get this thing done or provide me with this? Who's farming crops in the winter? Because I need to freaking eat in the winter, right? Who's got the greenhouse or who's, doing hydroponics in the house or whatever. That's kind of where we would have to go back to that state of doing things. The problem is we're so damn divided. You're not going to go to, Billy Bob's farm because he's conservative. And, that must mean that he hates anybody that's different than him. And
Mhm.
you know what I mean? Like it must mean all these things because so and so said it means those things. And so you're not going to reunite with your community members because you've labeled them as someone that you're diametrically opposed to.
Yep.
Yep, here we are. So how do we fix it,
Well
right? How
said.
do we fix it? Community, right? I mean, take care of your body, take care of your mind, take care of your communication and your mindset, and I think that's how we fix it. We have all the we Matt and I together have all the solutions.
If I'm being
Come
honest
to
with you.
our retreat in February.
Unfuck yourself.
Unfuck yourself in February. It's unfuck yourself February.
It's not in February, but
It's not. When is it?
it's in, like, April.
Is it? Damn.
Yeah.
Okay, we're really ahead of the game. Uh,
Yeah, that was the idea.
yeah, nice. Okay, in April.
'Cause
Never mind
we've
that.
been slow to even be ahead of the game,
We have
so
been. That's why we picked April. We know our pace.
Yeah, yeah,
We're busy people.
yeah.
All right. What else do we have? What else do you got? Anything else you wanted to touch on? Anything in
Um,
the world? Anything happening? I'm trying to think.
and those were the things I wanted to hit on.
Okay. I mean, we
I
can.
I do wanna know whether you think that they're gonna be aliens or, interdimensional entities, if they're gonna be real. Do they already exist? Are they in the hollow earth? Like, what do you think? What's up? Do you think in other planets and galaxies and spaceships and such?
I mean, you said, are they real? I mean, one of the books that I'm reading to my son, or my son and I are reading together, rather, he reads it as well as I read it. Have you ever heard of A Wrinkle in Time?
I have heard of that, yes.
So it's like a book, but there's 5 books that it goes into, a whole series, and we just finished the first one, we're into the second one, and we're on we just finished chapter 3, and that was one of the things that keeps coming up in the book is like, what is real? It keeps asking that question, and I'm like, I love that this book is asking that question because I don't think we're asking it enough. So you're asking me, will the aliens be real? I mean, I don't know what's real. I don't know. I don't necessarily believe that this is real, that any of this is real. Um, so will we be presented with something that is being called an alien? Probably, sure. I think that Yeah, I think that that's kind of like the ace up the sleeve of those that are pulling strings. That's like the last resort. The thing that they just keep kind of holding over everybody's head is like, well, are there or are there not? I don't know. But if they come, you're gonna certainly want our help, and we're all gonna have to come together and form
Reagan?
one big world, against other worlds and whatever. And so, or these other people that are coming to us, we as humans, as earthlings, are going to have to, put aside our differences and give away all of our rights and freedoms. But I think that's kind of the hold card. I think that's one of the things they're going to wait to the last minute to spring on us. Um, but will it be real? I don't know. I mean, I think they'll present something about aliens, and it'll be presented in a way that serves, you know, someone else's cause, not the individual. Um, do I believe in spaceships and planets and stuff? I don't know, man. I've never been in one. I've never left the Earth's atmosphere. I've never experienced those things. So as far as I know, none of those things are real. But I don't know. I only know this. I only know that my house has walls and doors, and I drive a car, and I've been on an airplane or two, or 100. But like beyond that, man, I can't begin to guess to know what it is. And also, it's not that important for me to know. It doesn't impact my life one way or another if Mars is really a whole ass planet that circles around and it's just like this planet where it's a round ball and you could go on it and walk around on it. I don't know, and it doesn't matter what it is. Whatever it is in the sky, you can see it, and if you track it, allegedly it makes revolutions around the sun, this on the same flat plane that we do somehow. It's just like a big flat plate, and everybody's, versus like some
Oh,
crazy.
while we're hurling through space.
Right, while we're also orbiting other things, which is also orbiting other things. I don't know, dude. It could be true, it could not be true.
It
Um,
just doesn't sound true, especially with all the water.
yeah, it doesn't
I
this
mean, flying through space, if it's if nothing If there's absolutely nothing, how do any of these engines work in space? It doesn't make any sense.
Right, if it's all a big vacuum.
Yeah.
But I mean,
It
where my skepticism lies is every couple of years there's this new like, "Oh shit, we didn't know about this. We've got a new name for this thing that was unexplainable before, and now we're going to call it a quark. And this is a certain type of particle in physics and this is what explains the, cuz allegedly according to physics like we only are observing like a tiny percentage of what is around us and the rest of it is filling in all of the gaps and they call it dark matter and there's so much more dark matter by like leaps and bounds over the matter that we experience with our five very limited senses. So like they're just figuring that out and they still don't fully understand it. They're just giving it a name. Hey, we don't know what this is, but we're going to call it this. Like, that doesn't mean that you know what's going on,
no,
right?
it
It's
does.
it's all
Yeah.
theory, it's all
Oh,
guesses
yeah.
based on things that you can repeat over and over, but who's to say that anything's repeating over and over anyway? Allegedly, when I'm not looking at this computer, if I look away and I look like it's not here. All of the particles are random and they're not even it's not even a computer. It's not even a desk when I'm not observing it. Like so, what is anything? I have
Yeah.
no idea. It's a huge mind fuck. This whole thing is a huge mind fuck, and there are so-called experts who have studied this thing that they still don't fully understand, but they believe in theories, and they're who we should be listening to as to how everything works. And then you get into this sticky thing of like, trust the science. The science is settled. There's no such thing. It couldn't be further from settled, actually. The reality of it is we don't know very much about what's going on. And I think mostly out of fear. We don't talk about that. We don't acknowledge that because if we don't know what's going on, like, and there isn't an order to everything. I mean, there is an order to everything, but we don't understand it, then why are we doing any of the things that we're doing? We can start asking those questions. Why are we doing any of this? Why are we destroying our environment every day actively? Why are we doing that? But since everything's figured out, they've got it all figured out. So we're just going to trust the experts that they know what's going on, and we'll just keep contributing and perpetuating to the destruction of our own environment, which is by far the least evolutionary thing to do is destroy your own environment. As we all know, every animal in the animal kingdom loves destroying their own environment so they can't live in it. Like, it doesn't make any damn sense.
It's because corporations. That's the it's because corporations run the world, bro.
Well,
Corporations run the world.
corporations are simply a different mask of whoever
They're
is pulling strings, the
corporations
people in
are an
positions of
entity
power.
themselves.
They're granted the status of, you know, uh, being an entity, but it's not a real thing. It's words
Well,
that we made up to describe.
no, I mean like a spiritual
Oh, okay,
entity.
I see what you're saying. Yeah, no, I
It's
agree.
because like we're the product, right, of this whole system, and I think that's the whole thing, and that's why we can end up in concentration camps because really we are just like articles of their debt.
Mm,
Like they're in debt. Who are they in debt to? Who's the payment for that debt? We are.
right.
And that I think is the ultimate truth that people should understand.
And the hard pill to swallow for today's episode.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I think that's the whole idea of just being honest about the reality of our situation. If we didn't have people in privileged positions who have the ability to withhold information or the ability to straight up lie about what's happening, about what the truth of the matter is. They can just give you whatever story they want. Like until we can get to the truth of it, I don't think that we overcome. I genuinely believe that like if we were honest about the reality of the situation. This is why having a child, I mean, cliche, but like it'll fuck with your perception of, the world and what's important and what you need to teach them. But if I feel like if all of our parents were honest with us and said, "Hey, we don't know what the fuck we're doing. We're winging it every day. Every day I'm doing my best, but I'm winging it. I don't have it
Mhm.
all figured out. I don't know what I'm doing. I don't know how to manage finances or my diet or like whatever it is, whatever your parent did not know how to manage. I don't think they served you at all by lying to you or putting on this front that they know what's going on. Do what I say because I know better. I'm older." And then you get older and you're like, wait a minute, I'm the same age that you were then. I don't know shit, which means you didn't know shit.
Yeah.
Right? And
Yeah,
so, like,
totally.
had they been honest about that, I think that the younger generations would be asking a hell of a lot more questions rather than just appealing to the authority who doesn't know what the fuck they're doing either,
Mhm,
right? Why are we doing this? Oh, because we said so. But wait, you don't know what you're doing. So why are we
mhm,
fucking listening to you?
mhm.
Right? Those are the conversations that I think would be serving humanity the most. That attitude of truly questioning authority, not accepting anything that they say without some level of proof and demonstrating that they do know what they're talking about in this one specific area because they definitely don't know everything in all the other ones. So, like, if we had that amount of curiosity and almost like a demanding of you fucking explain yourself before you tell us what to do, if we had that, I don't think we'd be on this trajectory at all. The people would have the power, and those in, positions of government or corporations or whatever would answer to us because you've got to explain yourself if you're going to act like you're the authority on something.
Yeah, I mean, dude, they're going after and destroying. Sorry, dude, I just froze up.
Are you still on that no weed diet? Oh, you're back
No.
on it? Nice. Well, that
I'm
explains.
about to actually take another, hiatus.
We are too. Yeah, we're gonna do the same thing. And I mean, it's not even that like I consume a tremendous amount of weed. Like I know some people that are smoking close to an ounce a day. I know people that are smoking just tremendous amounts of weed. They're, I mean, just on a literal another dimension, moving through the world. And I'm nowhere near that. However, it is still something that I think is good to just kind of a little cleanse, a little like check back in. Hey, why am I consuming this? What like be intentional with using it, and I think that's where those intentional breaks, and that's I mean with food, it's changed my life having intentional fasting
Yeah,
periods of like, why am I eating this food versus, well, yeah, I just eat all the time because I want food and food's
yeah,
available and it's yummy in my tummy, and I'm just gonna gobble gobble gobble. Like
yeah.
that's where people end up because it's just part of it. It's like, "Oh, I just breathe." Yeah, I breathe when I'm out of breath, and I put food in my stomach when
Yeah,
there's the slightest emptiness in there, I just put more in there. There should always be food in my belly all the
yeah,
time. It should just stay
it's
filled.
self-soothing.
Oh, right, yeah,
Self
it's definitely an
um,
emotional, coping
yeah,
mechanism for sure.
mhm.
Absolutely.
It all just becomes the self-soothing coping mechanism, yeah,
Yeah, that's why it's so
mm,
important, though, to have those intentional fasts, and you can fast from anything.
yeah,
And so having had those journeys many years ago of fasting has kind of unlocked this like cheat code almost of like, hey, if I don't feel good about my relationship with something that I'm bringing into my life or bringing into my body, I can just stop. I can just stop consuming it for however long I want, but long enough to be able to identify patterns because I'm gonna crave. I'm gonna crave what I'm used to having and I don't have anymore. And
mhm,
dude, this is bringing up like when I was in boot camp. So for those of you listeners who don't know, I was in the Marine Corps for 5 years, right out of high school, and like I'm having these like just now this like memory of being in boot camp and like little weird things that like I didn't think that I was addicted to or like dependent on, but then when you have nothing that you're used to, it really it really comes to the surface of, "Oh, I wish I had my phone right now so I could call
mm,
somebody or text somebody," really wish I had that, but you don't, so you gotta figure something else out with your time or snacks. Dude, my at the end of boot camp, in the Marine Corps, at least when I was in the Marine Corps, I don't know how they do shit now, but what they would do is the week before you graduated from boot camp, you had, like, family day, and your family could come and visit you for the first time after 3 months, and they could bring you, like, anything you fucking wanted, and you could just eat whatever the fuck you want, like, anything. You couldn't keep it, but while your family's there, you could just have whatever, dude, and the thing that I the thing that I wanted, the thing that after 3 months of being force-fed, not great food in the chow hall, I mean, it wasn't slop like I'm sure that, their gruel or nasty ass shit that you're getting in prison. It's probably like 2 steps up from that, but it's definitely like Cisco, like, school cafeteria food is probably the
Yeah,
equivalent to it. But so the
yeah.
thing after 3 months of that, the
Which
thing
is
that I wanted
gross.
to eat was those pink and white circus animal cookies. You ever have those?
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Bro. Crazy
Something
though,
you
like,
had to bring.
but I hadn't it's not even like I ate them regularly before. It wasn't even
Mhm.
like it was a regular part of my diet. I probably would have it maybe once or twice a year at the most, but for some reason, that was the thing. That combination of processed sugar and food coloring, like, I really that was the thing that I craved and that I had my family bring for me. It's crazy. Anyway.
It's pretty funny.
Yeah, I don't know if that's a useful anecdote for what we're talking about.
About as good as my, like, kinda tapping out for a second there, so,
Yeah, well, I'm
yeah.
tapping in. Yeah, man, it's crazy. So, I don't know, if we're looking for a clippable moment here, I mean, take a break. Take a break from anything that you're wanting to reassess your relationship with. Could be a person in your life, it could be something you're consuming, could be a way that you're spending your time, where you're putting your energy. I mean, I don't know, take a break and take a look at it. See what comes up when you deprive yourself of it. See where your motivations are really coming from. Um, and then you can make wiser decisions when you come back from that break. You can decide, hey, this actually isn't in alignment for me to do this because I'm actually reaching for this pint of ice cream because I'm feeling sad right
Mhm.
now. Like, that's
Like,
not a great motivation to be eating anything. Right? No shame if that's where you're at, but really ask yourself, your highest self, zoom out from this physical form that you're in. Think about the long term, where you want to take your avatar throughout this experience and determine if that's the motivation that you want behind what you fuel this vessel with. Just as one example, but apply that to anything that you're wanting to assess your relationship with.
I like it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool. You feeling good? You wanna wrap up
Yeah, let's do it.
after your little tap out break? Alright. Yeah.
Uh,
Yeah. As you I was about to talk shit. Um, thank you everyone for listening, those of you that, made it this far. We appreciate you, Matt. Thanks for taking the time aside to have these conversations. Always fun. Shoot the shit, explore um, our mindsets and um, our ways of thinking, our perspectives about what is happening, and, yeah, I look forward to the next one, man.
yeah, I enjoyed it. I'm looking forward to talking about more of the stuff that I, come across and, dissecting it a little bit more too. So,
Yeah, maybe let's do like a shared note or something.
okay.
Let's figure out how to
Yeah,
do that.
okay.
Cool. All right. Bye, everybody.